Uh-oh, we have a mistake. Let me save you some time and show you how to prevent a mistake that I've just made. So, in all honesty, this is only my second time throughout my entire bling journey blinging someone's face. In this case, it's my own face. Because I'm a rhinestone artist and I come up with all kinds of ideas that I want to bling out, this has been on my list to bling, and I wanted to bling my book because it's something I'm proud of. I'm actually not disappointed in the effect that my transparent rhinestones gave on my arms and my legs and the bottom part. But when it came down to my face, it started to look not so good. And if I have a quick interjection here, I know that we all need transparent and transparent AB rhinestones in our stock because we always need them. But just like black rhinestones, I almost went blind trying to use these rhinestones. They were so hard to see and pick up. Now, sometimes lighting can fool us, so I thought if I brought it in the sunlight, it would be even better, but turns out no. And before beginning to show you how I remove the rhinestones from my face, quick tip. See, when people are blinging out things that have small, tiny words, lots of times people will just leave those blank with no stones at all, but I wanted mine to shine. So I added some transparent rhinestones on top of these. We still can read what it says. It's legible. So you'll get to see before you make these kinds of mistakes if this is the route that you want to take or not. But I blinged my name in transparent rhinestones. All of these are transparent rhinestones. We could have very well done some SS6 rhinestones to do these letters, but I was being lazy and I did not want to do that. And that was for experiment purposes. Also, we could have got really tiny rhinestones right there, but truthfully, I was not about to do that today. So, as you can see, these are the effects of transparent and transparent AB rhinestones. They could be used for many things. Now, I don't know how this got here. How did this get here? But you get the point. This is a route you can take. We can leave some of these things blank. We can use tiny, tiny stones, or we can use transparent AB to do this. So let's try to remove the face. Now keep in mind, I had just completed blinging out my face on my book, probably about 30 to 40 minutes before I decided, no, I do not like this. This is not giving what it's supposed to give. So, because Krystal Glaze dries in 3 to 5 minutes, of course, it still says that it takes a complete 24 to 48 hours to completely cure. So because it had not completely cured, we still took advantage of some of that time where we could still pick away at the glue, and it was not as difficult to come off. I'm not necessarily sure if I would have lost so much because it's a paperback book. I'm not sure if we would have had the same effects with picking off glue and rhinestones because it's paper surface if we would have waited longer. However, if you ever have this issue with like cups or shoes and it's past the 24 to 48 hours to cure, and just with any glue, if you're trying to remove rhinestones, you should not run into any problems. You just remove the stones, apply some alcohol in lots of cases, and every now and again maybe some acetone. But you also have to be very careful with the surrounding rhinestones, because if acetone or alcohol get up underneath some of those rhinestones, they could very well loosen up, shift, and come off. So always be careful when removing glue and rhinestones to protect the other rhinestones that you still want in place. So I use this dental tool, and this is something that I always keep in my stash. It makes picking up rhinestones easy. So I really didn't have much. It was not really a hassle to remove the rhinestones because it had not been that long. I did run into the issue where pieces of my face where it had been printed, they started to come off just a little bit. And I thought that I had maybe like some paint or Sharpie markers that I could go back and fill in my face. But if you keep watching, that didn't work either. The main thing was that I wanted my face to now be seen. And so we did accomplish that. Keep watching. Now we're starting to get somewhere. Use at least 70% alcohol, and I was going to put it on a cotton pad, but then I had these eyeshadow thingies, kind of like a Q-tip. You can get a Q-tip too, and I applied some alcohol and just ran it across my face to remove any glue that I had. And then that's when I noticed that the glue and the rhinestones peeled off some of the paper on my face on the book. I also discovered that I had a rhinestone on the end that I was missing a rhinestone from, so I went back and fixed it as well. But this did loosen the rhinestones up, the glue up, and made it stringy. And so when you get to things like this, be careful, because that glue is stuck to other rhinestones, and depending on how it's glued, if you pull one string, you might pull a whole string of rhinestones up as well. So be very careful, not careful, be very careful in the process to not remove other stones as well. And then it may take you going back over some of those spaces and doctoring them up by adding some more glue. And that's exactly what I did, just to make sure everything still stays in place. I did have some rhinestones that end up loosening up through this process, and so I went back in and added those back. Some came out of my hair, so of course we added those because we need some sparkle there. And then the ones around my face that could have possibly loosened whenever we applied alcohol and was removing stones and those strings were moving around, I went back and checked all of those stones to just make sure some of those were not shifting. And none of them were, but I feel confident in just going back around using the precision tip of Krystal Glaze just to lock in those stones as well. This is just something that I thought of, and once it dried, it actually worked. No stones were out of place, so there's a quick tip as well. But especially if you're selling these items to customers, you do not want them to have any of those problems. So just check those rhinestones to make sure everything is still in place and not shifting. Now here's where I thought the crafter in me was getting ready to save the day, but turns out no, I was getting ready to give myself a black eye with that Sharpie marker. So I put it down, and then I had the bright idea to use another marker to try to add some melanin to my face, but that didn't work either. So I just left it the way it was. And I was very pleased with the final outcome. It just looked like my face had been at war. I like it. My face just looks a little, but it's still giving what it's supposed to give. What will you be blinking next? Don't forget to tag us. Don't forget to shop www.crownkrystals.com. Thanks for watching.